Hi, I'm Rhonda, and I want to talk about a condition I have that's called tardive dyskinesia. This is a condition where you have involuntary movements. Some people have it with different parts of their body. With me, it all revolves around my mouth, and of course, now that I'm talking about it, I'm going to be very self-conscious about it, but I do odd things with my mouth that I have no control over. And how I got this condition is from taking a medication for depression. I took it for a couple months back several years ago, maybe 5 years ago, and it didn't work. I took it for probably 2 months. It didn't work, and I should give you some backstory. I've had depression ever since I was a teenager. And for most of my adult life, it's been pretty manageable. I've had two bouts where it was, really bad, where I couldn't get out of bed. I was in real bad shape. So I had been going to my doctor on practically a weekly basis during this about 5 years ago, this bad bout of depression that I had. And I was just begging for new medication, anything, I was changing medications regularly, trying to get something to work. And so I tried that medication. It was called Abilify, that was the name of it. And it didn't work. I moved on. Down the line, I ended up finding something that helped with the depression, and I got back to my normal self again. This was several months down the road from taking that medication, and I started noticing that I had weird things happening with my mouth, like it just felt like my tongue was moving around in my mouth when I wasn't making it do that. It was doing it by itself. So anyway, I went to see my doctor, and I didn't think anyone was aware of that. I thought it was just like almost a bad habit I had developed or something. And I was sitting there talking to my psychiatrist, and as we were talking, he said, "Are you aware of what's going on with your mouth?" And I was kind of shocked because I didn't think anybody noticed it but me. And I said, "Yes." I said, "What is that?" I said, "It's driving me crazy." And he said, "It's a condition called tardive dyskinesia, and it's caused by certain medications, antidepressants, antipsychotics, anti-seizure medications, and even by Parkinson's disease medications." Well, it's a side effect, but even sometimes after you stop taking the medication, you'll get this condition. And like I said, I only took the medication for a couple months, and now it's 5 years later and I still have this condition. So I really just want to bring awareness to it, because I had no idea when I took the medication that was a possibility. Now, that would be my own fault for not reading up on the medication that I took, but it would have been really nice had my doctor said, "Hey, just so you know, if you take this medication, you are risking the chance of possibly getting this condition." That would have been nice, but that didn't happen. Now, for some people, it's well worth the risk. I mean, if you had Parkinson's and you were, really struggling to just walk or have normal movement, then sure, it might be well worth the risk. But somebody in the situation that I was in, it was, I don't want to minimalize it because it was pretty miserable, but I still wouldn't have taken the medication had I known. So I just want to warn people who might take some of these medications to ask about this, because, it didn't have to happen to me if I hadn't taken that medication. There's a million other antidepressants they could have tried me on, but I wanted to try it. Now, I would never suggest to anybody to go off your medication ever, even if you're on Abilify, the one that I said gave me this condition. Maybe it works great for you. Maybe you'll never get this condition. So please don't think I'm telling anybody to go off their medications. Definitely not what I'm trying to do here. Just trying to make people aware that this condition exists and that it could happen if you take some of these medications. The good news is there are two medications for this disorder, and I'm on one of them, and I actually thought that it was working pretty well until recently I started making cooking videos and posting them to YouTube. And when I went to edit the videos and watched myself, I was horrified to see that I was doing odd things with my mouth again. And I'm so totally unaware of it and thought that I had the condition under control. You know, to anybody who's going through something like depression or any mental illness or any illness, you know, that I've talked about, that these medications can cause this disorder, it's no fun, that's for sure. You know, it's bad enough to have, in my case, you know, depression, feel bad a lot of the time and feel very self-conscious about yourself, and then all of a sudden now you've got this weird thing that you're doing, and you feel like a, you know, like a big weirdo. Like people are probably saying, what's she doing? Why is she doing that with her mouth, you know? It's bad enough to have the original condition that you have, but to have this other one thrown on top of it is not good. So, but I just want to say, don't give up. Keep hounding your doctor. If I had not kept hounding my doctor, I'd probably still be laying in bed right now, because that's just how bad it was. I'm lucky, I guess I should say, that over the course of, you know, I'm 60 years old and I've only had 2 real bad bouts. They lasted about a month or 2 each. But let me tell you, those were the worst times of my life. So, you know, in your desperate attempt to get better, you will take medications, you will do a lot of things just to feel better, and that's what I did. But I just want to warn people to be careful so they don't wind up in the same sort of situation that I am in. And I want to encourage people to just keep trying to get better. And hopefully you'll come up with a good medicine combination or something that works for you. I'm lucky that I am now managing my depression and I feel pretty decent. And so that's what I wish for you, that you find what works for you. And that's all this video is about. So you probably came to this video because you're dealing with something, and I just want to say that I wish the best for you, and good luck. And thanks for watching my video.